24,298, 3.3, 1,849, 21. I know, it's hard to make sense of these numbers without context, but don't worry, they will. But just know this, it's not been easy, simple or straightforward. It's been difficult in fact, complicated and political. Everything I despise. Let me explain.
24,298. Let's start with the big one. That is the total number of registrations for the Model Y in the UK in the year of 2025, which makes it the best-selling EV in the UK. Despite a decline in the total number of sales for Tesla, the Model Y stood firm in #1 spot, owing to its competitive pricing, its power efficiency, its tech, its practicality, and access to the supercharging network. A lot of the time, we just need a car to be a car, right? Safe, reliable, spacious, comfortable, connected, and dare I say, easy enough to drive that the driving experience blends into the background. Case in point, the Model Y. It's a good car, it makes a good case for itself. EVs don't have a lot of moving parts, if you didn't already know. After a brief bit of research, while some build quality issues, they've been reliable too. Just whilst we touched on the build quality around Teslas, throughout the video you may be hearing this noise. I can't for the life of me figure out where it's coming from, but it sounds like something's rubbing together. It's a bit annoying. Consequently, the running and the maintenance of such cars provide good value too. But what about the other 10% of the time when you do want the car to be more than just a car? Something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more focused, responsive to your touch. Tabasco sauce on your hot dog. Well, typically in any other car you would hit a sport button of some description. But in here it's insane. 464 brake horsepower, 2 motors feeding all of that hot sauce to all 4 wheels. This particular press car's got some tasty P0s wrapped around its 21-inch Arachnid alloy wheels, 275 sections at the rear and 255 at the front. Put all of that into a pot, sprinkle it with a little bit of Tesla's algorithm, and the end product is a car that can do the 0 to 62 mile an hour sprint in times comparable to a 911 GTS. At least a pre-hybrid version anyway. Which brings us to our statistic, the 3.3. That is how many seconds it takes to get to 62 miles an hour. And that's rapid. That is more rapid than you would typically expect in an electric SUV, which was built for family life. It isn't what I would call insane, not by EV standards anyway, and especially not by Tesla standards. But I'll explain more about that in just a few moments. But what it is more than just a go faster button, or in the case of a Tesla, another option in the menu. There's not too much in the way of feel with the steering, but it is weighted beautifully, which makes it really easy to place and really accurate. So when you're avoiding potholes or trying to kiss the apex, it's really easy to do so. Our roads really are shocking, aren't they? You can feel the ESP kicking in a little bit there. All that girth in the tyres is really working wonders because the grip levels are just fantastic. The car sits lower than the standard model. It has performance brakes, it has adaptive suspension, there's carbon fibre in places, there's a spoiler on the boot which adds weight to the car. Yes, it adds weight because the normal one doesn't have a spoiler, so by adding it, but look, apparently it helps with downforce, so there's that. It's styled more aggressively, it's got sophisticated algorithm, adaptive suspension. This is probably the most Tesla has ever done to a normal version of their car to make it a performance.
The new Model Y performance benefits from upgraded chassis hardware that matches the increased performance of the powertrain. New springs, stabilizer bars and bushings that result in a chassis that feels more intuitive and responsive. Thanks to the improvement to the front suspension, Tesla also claimed that the steering is more predictable. It's not a car that likes sharp and rapid direction changes. It prefers a more progressive style of attacking the bends.
1,849. That's how many days it's been since I published my first video on an EV. I got my hands on an EQC from work, and it was my first real experience behind the wheel of one. And I enjoyed it. It was comfortable, it was smooth, it was powerful, and it looked futuristic. I was sold. And after publishing the video and watching other people's opinion pieces on it, I noticed that people didn't share my sentiments. On reflection, the shortcomings were difficult to ignore. The range, it was underwhelming. The dynamics felt flat. And the interior felt like it was put together by a committee. More Frankenstein than design. A contraption stitched together from the parts bin as opposed to a cohesive design. And from that point, I decided that EVs need to do better. They need to offer more. I saw their appeal, I saw their features and benefits and their application, but I also started to notice their shortcomings too. 1,849 days is a lot of days, but we also have to acknowledge that EVs have come a long way. Charging times are improving every other day. More and more homes now have a charge point. Whilst public charge points still have a very long way to go, the Tesla supercharger network is proof that it can work cohesively as well. There are more flavours of EV than ever before, and whilst I will say EVs aren't for everyone, there is an EV for everyone. If, like the previous loanee of this Model Y Performance, have curbed your 21-inch arachnid alloy wheels, painted or diamond cut, then the sponsors of this video may have you covered.
Scuffed alloys is one of the most commonly damaged parts on a car. CurbSafe refurb and repair over 200 alloys a week. And it's not just alloys, but bodywork too. Scuffs, dents, scratches, perhaps a mop and polish before handing back your lease car to avoid nasty surprises. Or you want to get the maximum return on a car that you're selling, or simply want to give your pride and joy a once-over, ready for the spring or the summer.
I have been using CurbSafe for almost a decade now. When I was at Mercedes, CurbSafe would be my go-to. Whether it's my friends, whether it's my family that need any repair work doing to their car, CurbSafe is where I send them. To enjoy a 10% off your repair, be it your alloy wheels or your bodywork, head on over to the link in the description and enjoy a 10% off your invoice. Thank you to CurbSafe for sponsoring this video. Whilst we're topping up our charge, let me talk to you a little bit about the interior of the Model Y. Let's get the cliches out of the way. It's unmistakably a Tesla interior, and it's business as usual. Now, objectively speaking, this is a very nice place to be. It's light, it's airy, it's spacious, it's practical, and it's comfortable. The materials used in here are a mixture of plastic, some leather, some carbon fiber, and everything feels nice. Everything feels relatively premium. There's nice soft leather on the armrest here and along certain parts of the door. The handlebar and the buttons are nice to touch. There's a nice bit of carbon fiber trim on the doors as well as on the dashboard. The mesh to the speakers, again, just feels nice. Just a horse walking by. The seats, they're sculpted beautifully, but more importantly, they're supportive and they're very comfortable. I mean, this choice of white leather is a brave choice. It looks fantastic. The contrast with the red and the black wheels and the white leather looks fantastic. How practical it is, well, if you own one, let me know in the comments, because personally, I'm not brave enough to choose white leather. Heated, of course, as well as the steering wheel. There's acres of sky up above you, letting in lots of light, again helping it feel nice and bright and airy in here. There's lots of storage under your armrest here. There's a couple of cup holders as well, and some more storage down here with a 12-volt socket as well. I will say they've been a little bit tight with their USB Type-C ports, because I've only managed to find one hidden away just under here, but you do have a dual zone wireless charge pad as well. The screen has also been upgraded to a 16-inch screen with more pixels, helping it feel sharper and more responsive. And from what I can tell, yeah, I mean, again, business as usual. If you're coming from a Tesla, it's going to feel very familiar because all the options, all the menu systems are exactly where they were previously. Now, you may already be aware, switching the car from park, neutral and drive takes place on the actual screen. Now, for whatever reason, should the screen fail completely and you can't change gears, what you can do is in the overhead control unit just up here, if you plod it and just, I think, hold your finger down, you can activate the gear selector from up here. So you've got park, reverse, neutral and drive, along with a couple of touch sensitive lights as well. Now, Tesla claimed that the Model Y is an SUV. Whilst it doesn't have the traditional looks and the appearance of one, when it comes to the interior and the practicality side of it, it does pretty well. I'm 5'11", and I've got plenty of legroom down here. There's no transmission tunnel naturally, and the front seat is currently in the position that I would have it in. And you can comfortably fit 3 adults back here, failing that 2 adults and an armrest with 2 further cup holders. There's a screen down here. You can watch Netflix, YouTube, and play various games and control the music. There's 2 additional USB Type-C ports down here, which I hadn't noticed. There you go. Maybe they're not so tight after all. And again, thanks to the panoramic glass sunroof, it lets in a lot of light. So whether you're going on short or long journeys, you're well catered for back here.
The boot offers generous room too, coming at just over 2100 litres. The seats fold down to provide more room for your surfboard or your bike. It's really handy that the seats fold down and erect electronically. There's storage beneath the floor and extra bit of storage in the front.
I think we're fully charged. Let's hit the road. If you're enjoying this video, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff, and smash that hype button if that's something you're into. I don't know what it does, but the channel is growing, more brands are coming on board, and it's all thanks to you guys, so keep smashing the subscribe button, please, and thank you. 21 is the total number of electric cars I have reviewed that are on this channel, not including hybrids, and not including ones that I have driven but not reviewed. 21. Performance EVs, city EVs, luxury EVs, SUV EVs, compact EVs, lots of EVs. Naturally, I noticed more. I started picking up on smaller little details and nuanced things that different manufacturers, different cars have. And I think it's got me to a stage where I understand EVs a lot better than what I did previously. Recognise their uses, their features, their benefits, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, areas of improvement, all that kind of stuff. But in this video, I kind of wanted to let all of that go, forget about all of that, and just see if this is a fun EV. And the reason why I'm saying fun is because I believe that performance, that sports cars should be fun above all else. A few weeks ago, we reviewed the Alpine A290, and the formula was brilliant. It was a fantastic little package. Design-wise, it was excellent. Comfort levels were good. The tech was up to date. Whilst it had its shortcomings, of course, like any other car, I was really excited to experience and to see what it had to offer in such a small package. It didn't have to have 500 horsepower feed into all 4 wheels. It was front wheel drive with a little over 200 brake horsepower. A winning formula. And it was all about the fun factor. Getting you out of your house and just wanting to go for a drive for the sake of wanting to go for a drive. You and I both know that a 300 horsepower can be as much, if not more fun than a 600 brake horsepower SUV or super saloon.
The door handles are a little annoying. They're not intuitive, and I don't like the fact that you have to go into a menu to adjust your mirrors and your steering wheel. The buttons on the door are way too over-engineered. I'm not quite sure what value this adds. While the gearing system being on the screen is unorthodox, it does have a handy feature where it will just change gear for you, as demonstrated here in this 3-point turn. I like the fact that you don't have to carry around the key, just your phone. It unlocks when you approach it and locks when you leave.
This is where I think Tesla have really nailed the brief. Whilst there is an insane mode, it isn't. It's got 464 brake horsepower, so it's rapid AF, but it's not like it's got 650 brake horsepower. It would have been all too easy to stick 600-700 horsepower into this car and make the acceleration the main event and let the Model Y performance headline with 0 to 60 mile an hour in 1.9 seconds. But they haven't. They've acknowledged the fact that this is an electric SUV. It's a family first practical car. And for that reason, they've adjusted things, they've tweaked things to make it more than just a sport mode. Credit where credit's due. It's the right amount of insane, if there was ever such a thing. Earlier in the video, I touched on the fact that it's not been straightforward, it's not been simple, and it's been quite political, all the things that I've despised. And this with regards to all the noise around EVs. Whether they're Chinese, whether they're the German, halo brands that we all know and love. They're not perfect, they're not for everyone. I'll be the first to admit it. For me, it's always been about, look, EVs are just cars with another alternative to petrol and diesel. It's just another fuel type in many ways. Diesels aren't for everyone, petrols aren't for everyone, hybrids aren't for everyone, EVs aren't for everyone. There is no one size fits all when it comes to the automotive space. For me, it's always been about, does it work for you? Does it do the job you need it to do? Is it a tool that you're after in order to get from A to B, or is it something that you want to use on the weekend, something that you love, something that you feel a connection to, something emotional, something that you just love? And based on the answers that you get from that will dictate what sort of car that you most likely want to and should buy. With EVs, it gets very political very quickly, and for me it's just about reviewing the car, a product, what's it like. So that's why on occasion I'm torn between, do I just tell you guys what this car's really like, or do I let the political noise get the better of me and start talking about that stuff? And I think I've done a good job at not bringing the political stuff into my electric car reviews. I hope so anyway. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.